Hey guys, hope you enjoyed your spring break. I left off in chapter 7. It was the uninvited brothers. What had happened is Omri's brothers had just walked into the room and he was angry and wanted them out of there. So, pick up right there. Why are you in such a hurry to get rid of us? Asked Gillen suspiciously. Just go. You know you have to get out of my room. Excuse me, when I ask you. He could hear the little horse whinnying again, and it didn't sound a bit like a dolphin. That sounds just like a pony, said Adil. Oh, Beard, it's a pony, a tiny witchy pony under my bed, said Omri mockingly. At last they went, not without glancing back suspiciously several times, and Omri slammed the door, bolted it, and leaned against it with closed eyes. Is it a pony? Whispered Patrick. Omri nodded. Then he opened his eyes, lay down again, and peered under the bed. Give me that flashlight from the chest of drawers. Patrick gave it to him and lay beside him. They peered together as the beam probed the darkness. Crumbs, breathed Patrick reverently. It's true. The horse was standing, seemingly alone, whinnying. When the light hit him and he stopped and turned his head, Omri could see a pair of leggings behind him. It's all right, little bear, it's me, said Omri. Slowly, a crest of feathers, then a pair of eyes appeared over the top of the horse's back. Who others? He asked. My brothers. It's okay. They didn't see you. Little bear here coming. Take horse. Run. Hide. Good. Come on out and meet my friend Patrick. Little bear jumped astride of the horse and rode proudly out. He was wearing his new cloak and headdress. He gazed up imperiously at Patrick, who gazed back in wonder. Then he nodded to Patrick, who several times tried to say something, but his voice came out as a squeak. Excuse me. Omri's friend, Little Bear's friend, said Little Bear magnanimously. Patrick swallowed. His eyes seemed in danger of popping right out of his head. Little Bear waited politely, but when Patrick didn't speak, he rode over to the seed tray. The brothers had brought it out from behind the crate. They'd been careful, but the ramp had gotten moved. Omri hurried it to put it back, and Little Bear rode the horse up it, dismounted, and tied it by its halter to the post he had driven into the compost. Then he went calmly on with his work on the longhouse. Patrick licked his lips, swallowed twice more, and croaked. He's real. He's a real live Indian. I told you. How did it happen? Don't ask me. Something to do with this cupboard, or maybe it's the key, very old. And you lock plastic people inside and they come alive. Patrick goggled at him. You mean it's not only him? You can do it with any toy, only plastic ones. An incredulous grin spread over Patrick's face. Then what are we waiting for? Let's bring loads of things to life, whole armies. He sprang towards the biscuit tins. Omri grabbed him. No, wait, it's not so simple. Patrick, his hands already full of soldiers, was making for the cupboard. Why not? Because they'd all, don't you see? They'd be real. Real? What do you mean? Little Bear isn't a toy. He's a real man. He really lived. Maybe he's still, I don't know, he's in the middle of life somewhere. Somewhere in America in 17-something or other. He's from the past. Omri struggled to explain as Patrick looked blank. I don't get it. Listen, Little Bear has told me about his life. He's fought in wars and scalped people and grown stuff to eat like marrows and stuff, and had a wife. She died. He doesn't know how he got here, but he thinks it's magic, and he accepts magic. He believes in it. He thinks I'm some kind of spirit or something. What I mean, Omri persisted, as Patrick's eyes strayed longingly to the cupboard, is that if you put all those men in there and they came to life, they'd be real men with real lives of their own, from their own times and countries, talking their own languages. You couldn't just set them up and make them do what you wanted them to. They'd do what they wanted to, or they might get terrified and run away. Well, one I tried it with, an old Indian, actually died of fright when he saw me. Look, if you don't believe me. And Omri opened the cupboard. There lay the body of the old chief, now made of plastic, but still unmistakably dead, and not dead in some way plastic soldiers are made to look dead, but the way real people look, crumpled up, empty. Patrick picked it up, turning it in his hand. He'd put the soldiers down by now. This isn't the one you bought at lunchtime. Yes. Crumbs. You see? Where is his headdress? Little Bear took it. He says he's a chief now. It's made him even more bossy and difficult than before, said Omri, using a word his mother often used when he was insisting on having his own way. Patrick put the dead Indian down hurriedly and wiped his hand on the seat of his jeans. Maybe this isn't as much fun as I thought. Omri considered for a moment. No, he agreed soberly, it's not fun. They stared at Little Bear. He had finished the shell of the longhouse now. Taking off his headdress, he tucked it under his arm, stooped, and entered through the low doorway at one end. After a moment, he came out and looked up at Omri. Little Bear hungry, he said. You get deer, bear, moose? No. He scowled. I say get. Why you not get? The shops are shut. Besides, said Omri, thinking about the sound of he sounded rather feeble, especially in front of Patrick. I'm not sure I like the idea of having bears shambling about my room or having them killed. I'll give you meat and a fire and you can cook it, and that'll have to do. Little Bear looked baffled for a moment. Then he swiftly put on the headdress and drew himself to his full height of almost 3 inches, 3 1/4 with the feathers. He folded his arms and stared at Omri. Little Bear, chief now. Chief hunts, kills own meat. Not take meat others kill. If not hunt, lose skill with bow. For today, you give me meat. Tomorrow, go shop, get bear, plastique. I make real, I hunt. Not here, he added, looking up scornfully at the distant ceiling. Out, under sky, now fire. Patrick, who had been crouching, stood up. He too seemed to be under Little Bear's spell. I'll run and get the tar, he said. No, wait a minute, said Omri. I've got another idea. He ran downstairs. Fortunately, the living room was empty. In the coal scuttle beside the open fireplace was a pack of firelighters. He broke a fairly large bit off of one and wrapped it with some scrap newspaper. Then he went to the kitchen. His mother was standing at the sink peeling apples. I'm gonna leave off right there. Pick up tomorrow and see what happens. There's a word I'm gonna look up. It said firelighters, and I'm thinking he means matches. But I'm going to have to do a little homework on that one and find out if that's actually what it means. So you guys have a great night. I'll talk to you guys, or we'll be working on chapter 7. Like I said, it's one of the longest chapters in the books. Let's see, how many? We've only got a few more pages to go tomorrow to finish up chapter 7 and probably start on chapter 8 too. So take it easy. We miss you guys. We'll see you later.